What's up with y'all, man? It's your boy David. We're back with another reaction video. Today we're reacting to the music industry is broken. Remember that being said, make sure y'all like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Let's see what the issue with the music industry really is right now.
The music industry is in an interesting place right now because on one hand, it's more accessible than it's ever been. It's more democratic than it's ever been. And
Wow, the accessibility part, that part does so much for me, man. Anybody can make music now. It's nothing to make music, and even to blow up and to have a sound, and even at this point, even make money off your music. It's such a it's a moment in history, bro. For real, no cap. And I'm here for it. I'm really here for it.
if recent trends continue, it will soon be more profitable than it's ever been. But also, doesn't it kind of feel like it's completely falling apart?
Last week, 6 of the top 50 trending songs on Spotify were AI generated.
If I was
Now that's crazy. That AI generation shit for music, oh my god, it's so ridiculous, bro. That's just it's like so most times they're ass, but sometimes I'll hear AI generated song and I'm like, bro, you sure this AI generated? You sure this ain't that? You sure this ain't who I think it is, bro? What the fuck? How is this? Hey, hold on, wait a minute. You sure this not unreleased? Come on, man. Don't play with me like that. Don't play with me like that right now. This shit kind of fire. And then I realized AI generated, and I'm like, oh damn, never mind. This is crazy. Fuck.
my daughter's age, if I'm looking at what musicians are doing now, I wouldn't want to do this.
If you have a business model and that goes up 10, 15%, you're in a lot of trouble. Well, it's doubled.
But there is a refusal to offer even a semblance of a sustainable revenue source.
I'm owed $30,000 in music royalties that I will probably never see.
A lot of bands that you love, they're gonna call it quits in the next like 2 years.
That's tough. I would be sick to my stomach if that happened to me, nigga. I'd be sick. What the fuck?
The industry as a whole is raking in more and more money every year. But as with so many things in life,
What is that? What is this shit on my fucking thing? Hold on, yo. Fucking eyes tweaking and shit. God damn it. Okay.
majority of that is concentrated at the top. Record labels, tech executives.
Oh my god, that is so true. When it comes to music, bro, music is like Twitch and YouTube. It is a top-down business, bro. Only the niggas at the tippity top of the pyramid are really raking it in for real. Everybody else at the bottom, you're lucky if you're making a living. And everybody else is not making shit. They're working regular ass jobs, doing this shit on the side as a hustle or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But still, like, this is fucking, like, this is a top-down business for real, bro. Only the record labels and the big rappers and the big musicians is making any type of real, like, plays with the shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And monopolistic middlemen make billions, while the bottom 80% of artists are forced into a death match with each other. As their costs go up and their revenue goes down, many smaller acts are starting to get priced out of the industry altogether. I want to talk about all the things that are causing this, but let's start with Spotify, since nobody has been more influential to the current state of music than the company that fundamentally changed the way we listen to it. My main source for a lot of the information in this video is this book by Liz Pelly called Mood Machine, and I would say my biggest takeaway is that Spotify has never, at any point, cared about artists. In fact, they've routinely
I believe that too. I think a lot of these businesses don't give a fuck about the artist. They don't care. They just want money. They want a profit. They want to get that bag. At the end of the day, if they got to slice a few niggas to do it, destroy a few dreams to do it, they gonna do it. Simple, point blank period.
done just about everything they can to both undermine and replace them. I think it's important to point out that the company wasn't even founded with the intention of being a music streaming service. The plan from the beginning was just to make a website that could sell ads. The content used to drive traffic to those ads was almost completely irrelevant.
Should it be product search?
So basically, YouTube. Right, I mean, YouTube was made as at the start, I believe it was made as it was a video watching thing. Then Google took over, and then they realized we could use this platform to push people to look at ads to make money. And then now they share that money with creators and shit that are at the tippy top of the pyramid. You know how that shit goes.
Or should it be movies or audiobooks? And then we ended up with music.
The only reason they eventually decided on music was because they felt like there was a market for it. I'm pretty sure if they thought they'd sell more ads on pictures of feet, then that's what they would have done. And maybe I'd still be subscribed. And I don't bring this detail up because this is my first day on Earth and I'm just...
Yo, freaky as hell, boy. I don't understand what people like about feet so much. Like, I be looking at my girl's feet and I'm like, oh, they're cute. Like, I like her feet and shit, but I'm not like trying to like lick her fucking feet. Or that's a lie. I have licked her feet before. But still, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like goddamn looking for it. You feel me? Like, babe, show me them toe pics. Like, what the fuck? Like, no, what the hell?
Just now learning that businesses like to make money. I know that's usually the case. I just like to point this out because it annoys me how much Spotify's founders have tried to
The idea of liking to make money is not a bad thing. Everybody likes to make money. Money is a resource that will never lead you wrong. But the problem is when they want untethered, uncontrollable growth. That's when we have a problem. Also, this map behind the Spotify thing is fucking wrong. Why is Africa so goddamn small? I don't like, it's like man, fuck Spotify.
retroactively apply this nobility to their cause.
I did this not because I thought we could make a ton of money. I did this because I cared about the problem, right?
He's a liar. And now as he lying, he's fucking bald. Look at that melon. Boy, you can spit on that shit and shine it like a shoe, nigga. God damn. Shit. That been reflecting all the light off the fucking, off the ceiling and shit. My God.
Cared about music and
you can lick, but how many licks does it take to get to the center of his fucking medulla oblongata? God damn. Nigga, a basketball, I'm done.
Cared about compensating artists fairly.
Cap, and he's lying. He's bald and he's lying. What the fuck?
The problem was to distribute music, not to give you money.
Guys, we were never trying to profit. We just wanted to save the music industry. And I swear, we're gonna start saving it any day now. To be fair, it's easy to overly romanticize the time before music streaming apps, as if back then everything was working perfectly and artists were just raking in revenue left and right. 20 years ago, the industry was struggling. Piracy had become a huge problem. Once people realized they could download a band's entire discography for free, why would they keep spending 99 cents just to buy one song? And unless the plan was to arrest millions of teenagers for using BitTorrent, the most realistic way to counteract this was to create something just slightly more convenient in comparison so that people would see the value in paying for it. The problem for Spotify was that even while that income grew exponentially throughout the early 2010s, they just weren't able to keep enough of it for themselves. Sure, the only reason people use the app at all is to listen to the music that artists put on it, but that doesn't mean they should get most of the money. I won't rest.
That's what I'm saying. Look, the revenue split for Spotify should be kind of like YouTube, because with YouTube has a 50-50 revenue split. They'll keep 50% of what you make. So if you said, let's say you make $400 for YouTube, you'll keep probably $250. They'll take the rest. Spotify will just literally say, fuck you, kill yourself, and they'll take damn near everything. But I'm like, what the fuck? Mind you, I don't use Spotify. I don't put music on there. I don't use it at all. Like, I touched it once, I saw ads and I got off immediately. What I'm saying is, like, they literally make it a point to fuck over the artist at every turn. Unless you're fucking Drake or somebody connected to Lucius Grange or some shit, you're fucked.
Until the guy who said, what if we put Napster?
They be botting streams too. Them niggas be botting streams. They be lying. They be lying on their dick.
On phone is worth $10 billion. Oh, cool, I guess I can rest now. Now, the way monetization works on Spotify is that about 70% of the revenue that's made from subscriptions and advertisements are paid out to music rights holders, while Spotify pays their expenses with the remaining 30%. Now, I want you to remember those two numbers because I'm gonna refer back to them a lot in this video, and I'm gonna show you how that graph has slowly been morphing in the opposite direction. But let's start with the 70%. It's a common misconception that artists on Spotify are paid per stream, when technically that's not true. People will often throw around a figure of like 0.3 cents, but that's just an estimate, and it changes all the time. In reality, there's a fixed pool of revenue that gets distributed every month based on the total number of streams across the entire platform. So if an artist were to have 1% of all the streams, they would be owed 1% of all the revenue. This means that while there's obviously a correlation between the amount of plays a song gets and the amount of royalties that artist receives, it's not as if a third of a penny gets deposited into their account every time you press play. Spotify is a zero-sum game, so unfortunately, the more artists who succeed on it, the more the revenue pool gets spread thin. This is where I think they should be taking a much—
That's fucking ridiculous. I thought they would get the money from the ads and then spread it like that, but damn, that's ads. That's fucking terrible. My God, that's like, damn.
much harsher stance than they currently are on AI-generated music. I don't care how much the technology is improving, AI slop is soulless, it's completely unnecessary, and more than anything else, it's theft. The only way it exists at all is because it was trained without consent on decades worth of stolen data. And yet, it is rampant online. Hundreds of thousands of songs are uploaded every single day, and over 40% of those are estimated to be completely AI generated. Now, I don't want to see AI content anywhere. I have no respect for the people who use.
One thing about my channel, bro, we be shit posting on here. I ain't gonna lie, but there's no AI, nothing in this motherfucker. No bullshit. I don't use AI at all to make the shit I do. You know what I'm saying?
Use it, and I cannot wait for all these companies to run out of money. But at least when like an AI YouTube.
But no bullshit though, when it comes to AI, bro, when that bubble pops, it's over. People are already divesting away from AI. On one of the last videos I reacted to, they literally talked about like how once these AI companies were started charging more on they started charging more on what's it called? They let go of the subscription model and started charging on a per usage basis. That the company saw their what's it called? They saw their expenses go up by 7 times. So they started like kind of cutting back on that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Short blows up. That doesn't financially affect everyone else on the platform. On Spotify, though, it does, because again, there's only a finite amount of money to go around. According to a website called sloptracker.org, just the top 10 songs from just 50 AI artists are responsible for millions of dollars being taken away from actual artists. And this is a very small sample size. Now, some people have tried to theorize that these songs could be a low-cost way for Spotify to attempt to recoup some of the royalties they owe. Because if there just so happened to be a song on the platform that Spotify owned the rights to, then that percentage of stream share would
go to Spotify. Okay, I'm seeing what you're saying.
Redirected right back into the company. And I'm not accusing them of that, but at the very least,
I definitely am. Hey, you don't gotta say nothing. I will. These motherfuckers, they doing that shit for sure, nigga. They're a company. They're doing it. Stop playing. What? They're doing it. What the fuck? These niggas doing that shit. They doing that shit.
They're certainly not doing anything to stop it. And even if they don't agree that AI art is inherently theft, the way that these artists have become so prominent is extremely suspicious. There's another website called Songstats, which for pretty much every artist shows a graph of how their Spotify playlist reach has fluctuated over time. You'll probably notice that these tend to be all over the place. For real musicians trying to get their work listened to, it's a roller coaster. It is completely unpredictable. And now let's take some of the top AI artists and look at theirs.
And the fact that we know their AI is pissing me off. Niggas are still listening to this bullshit. Like, damn. They don't give a fuck. That's crazy.
That's an interesting shape. That doesn't look like the other graphs. This is Inley, who currently has about 800,000 monthly listeners. And look at some of the playlists she's been in. Blues Mix, Morning Glow. These are official Spotify playlists. Here's one of the biggest ones I found, Breaking Rust.
Bro, what? Breaking Rust? Nigga, that is a fucking username from a video game. This is a username from a video game. Where you know them video games where you make a fucking random ass username? This would be one of the usernames you would get. This nigga has this nigga is fake. This ain't a real person. What? Who dresses like this? Oh my god, bro. This is actually hilarious, bro.
His music sounds like it was trained on 30 hours of Chevy truck commercials. Just a few weeks after they released their very first song, they were already on playlists seen by 3 million people. What about The Velvet Sundown, who a lot of
what the fuck? These aren't real people?
people were debating about last summer. Day one! The day they put their music out, they were already in these giant playlists. How is that possible, right? How could anyone look at this and say that it happened naturally? Whether or not Spotify is personally responsible for making these things, their immediate and completely inorganic rise to fame is suggestive of something that should be against their terms of service. I mean, they remove the music of legitimate artists all the time, usually for much less nefarious statistical anomalies. So why is it that specifically with The Velvet Sundown, they turn the other way? I don't know.
Yeah, like they literally are protecting AI slop shit because it's making more money for their company. They do not value real artists. If you're not already a poppin' famous nigga like Drake or Taylor Swift or some shit, they don't value you, bro. It's fucking crazy. This is actually so sick.
Just asking questions. Follow-up question. Can you guys watch this brand deal real quick? This video is sponsored by Opera. Clean up the
Hey,
them to
I'm using Opera GX right now, boy. This shit is good. I fuck with Opera GX. No bullshit. It's great.
keep all rabbit holes. A feature called Tab Tree. More recent, and you're trying to remember things like an music player. Into the videos, they even have a side or asker like me. Sponsoring this video. In your lean back listening. The idea that music isn't so much a piece of art to be intently listened to, but rather just like a constant hum that plays in the background of whatever you're doing.
Oh,
listen to listening. The idea that music on their apps. Comment below. Thank you to Opera for sponsoring this video. In the early 2010s, in an effort to increase engagement on their app, Spotify began a heavy push towards something they call lean back listening. The idea that music isn't so much a piece of art to be intently listened to, but rather just like a constant hum that plays.
You know what's funny? When it comes to lean back music, I hate that shit. And here's why I hate that shit so fucking much. Like, if I'm playing a video game and I'm listening to a song while I'm playing a video game, I am literally using that song to focus on what I'm doing in that video game. When I'm driving to work late, because I be working late at night, I ain't gonna lie, nigga, I be sleeping a bitch on the road. But listening to music, that shit literally wakes me up. It wakes me the fuck up. Singing the lyrics that I know actually wakes me up. So that lean back music shit, it's so ass to me because I use music as a tool to focus, to remember, and to feel stuff. That lean back shit don't work for me. I don't just have music playing in the background. I play fire shit. Cause it means something to me, nigga. And with that being said, shout out Party Next Door. It's my favorite fucking R&B artist of all time. That nigga is so good. And he is so creative when it comes to making music, no cap.
Plays in the background of whatever you're doing. So they began to curate and promote playlists based on activities or vibes. Are you studying? We have a playlist for that. Going to sleep? We have a playlist for that. Breaking the news to your cousin that even though there's undeniable chemistry between you, the two of you can never be together simply because society deems it wrong.
Bro, what the fuck is it with white people and incest? We didn't need this joke, bro. Damn. Let it die. Let the cousin fuckery die. Just let it go. Shit.
Believe it or not, playlist. The popularization.
Oh my god. No fucking yo, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I doubted you, bro. We needed that joke. There's a cousin, bro. Spotify has a cousin fucker playlist. Oh my god.
Of playlists and the opportunity.
I mean, come on, bro. I mean, I what did you expect?
That emerged for all the artists that got picked to be in them actually changed the way a lot of music got made. Artists would start reverse engineering the writing process to appease the algorithm. Songs got shorter, they got simpler. They would start with the most interesting part because as long as people got through the first 30 seconds, it would count as a play and then your stats would go up. It's too risky to have a slow burn intro because you're just giving the listener more opportunities to skip it.
That's true, unless you're like a fucking made artist. And that's why I talk about Party Next Door, because party songs, a lot of them be having like real slow burns. Like I'm listening like West District. That song has the slowest burn ever. But when that shit gets to that point, I love every part of that song. The build-up is so fucking it's masterful. The build-up on that song is masterful. Oh my, it's like no bullshit, bro. It's like honey to my ears, my nigga. Like, oh my, I love a build up. Like, I love when he does a build up because he really like he be milking the it's like he be milking the production so much. I love it, bro. So I like no cap.
And if they skip it, it tells the algorithm that your song sucks. And then they're never gonna put it in a playlist, and no one's ever gonna listen to it, and you're never gonna make any money, and you're gonna be working at Popeyes forever. But while artists were busy trying to figure out how they could navigate the system, Spotify was hard at work pulling their own strings in the background. In 2017, the same questions started getting asked by more and more people. Who's making all these random ass songs? Why are they ending up in so many playlists? Artists with a stock photo as their profile picture, with no bio, no website, no contact information, nothing that would indicate they're a real person trying to become a working musician. And yet some of them have songs with tens of millions of plays. Because, like a lot of the AI artists of today, they were snuck into official Spotify playlists. Again, no proof that Spotify's behind any of these. In fact,
no, stop. Yes. They're doing that. Yes, they're doing that shit 100%. What the fuck? Yes.
I've even seen one example of them outright denying it, so I'm just gonna take their word for it. But I will say, they also denied
You know, it's funny. They're not doing it, but they're probably paying people to do it.
similar allegations in 2017, and that turned out to be a flat-out lie. No, we don't game the system. Bad people do. And we're good. Turns out, no, actually. Several musicians have since revealed that they used to have a gig with Spotify where they would just record a bunch of like 2-minute long instrumentals that then Spotify would upload to their platform under random pseudonym. Just a bit of investigation.
Exactly. Like I just said, they paid other people to do that shit. Cause they're good. They're good. They would never, but they'll pay somebody to do it though. Like I would never kill somebody, but I would hire a hitman. Even though murder for hire is a charge, but still, you know what I'm saying?
Revealed hundreds of artist profiles accounting for millions of dollars in royalty payments that Spotify gets to keep because they're the ones who commissioned it. And it's not like people were going out of their way to listen to these songs. Spotify has the power to force them in front of as many ears as they want. Former Spotify employees have talked about how strongly they were urged to prioritize these songs while curating playlists. Liz Pelly in her book uncovered internal documents that showed they even had a name for this: perfect fit content. And by 2023, hundreds of these massively promoted playlists were filled almost exclusively with these kinds of songs. Even
because, you know, they just realized that this mood or lackadaisical listening thing that they do, we just play the songs in the background to let people live their lives to them. It just drives up streams so much and drives up how much of the revenue they can collect as a company. And that just, you know, that just boosts them so much. And honestly, from a capitalistic perspective, that's fucking genius. If I owned a company, I would do the same shit. Because the goal is not to make a platform where you can push music and pay artists and really further what music is to humanity. The goal is to make money. So we're putting AI slop shit in the fucking, you know, in the water pool of the music, so we could draw more money from it. You know what I'm saying? It's so smart, but it's so fucked up. It's crazy.
weirder though, the source of a large percentage of this music, a company called Firefly Entertainment, is owned by someone who has a lifelong personal relationship with one of the higher ups over at Spotify, and he's made hundreds of millions of dollars in streaming revenue the past couple years. That's one hell of a coincidence. Now, an important detail here, and what I hate to admit makes this kind of a smart move on their part, is that the playlists they did this on tend to serve as background noise. So not only are people less likely to notice if a song is not as high of quality, but by nature, these playlists are designed to be listened to.
Are designed to be listened to, but not to be listened to. You're just doing shit, just chilling, living your life. All you hear is fucking. You're like, oh, this song kind of ass, but it's alright. The next one be okay. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You're not listening for real. It's so goddamn smart, nigga.
For way longer than you would an actual song by an actual artist. Let's say one of your favorite bands just released a new single and you love it. Over the course of a couple of weeks, you listen to it like 100 times. But also every night to fall asleep, you put on a gentle ambient piano playlist and let it run for 8 straight hours into the morning. Well, unfortunately, that means that at the end of the month, about 99%.
That's fucking insane. I don't know how people sleep to music. Me, I just fall asleep. I ain't gonna lie. My sleep is a little different. I just fall asleep. I just go straight to sleep, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I might be on my phone a little bit longer than I need to. I just turn it off and just go straight to sleep. But I don't listen to music for 8 hours straight to sleep. My girl be doing that shit though, but I'll be doing that shit.
Of your subscription revenue is contributed to a bunch of anonymous, faceless stock music that you weren't even awake to hear, and the remaining 12 cents goes to your favorite band for them to spend however they want. It's not like real musicians don't make this kind of music. They used to get picked to be on these playlists. This used to be a huge source of traffic and revenue for all of these small independent artists that Spotify pretends to care about, but now they've all been cast aside. They used their music to popularize these playlists before slowly replacing them with songs that they own the rights to. In 2018, they wrote a blog post about this instrumental guitarist named Lance Allen, whose life was changed when one of his songs got picked up by Spotify's Peaceful Guitar playlist, and within a couple of months, he had started earning enough revenue from streaming to pay his mortgage and even buy a new car. He was propped up by the company as an ultimate success story, a personification of this new era of self-sufficient musicians. Now, they ran this blog for 2 reasons. One, it makes them look good. It helps them brand themselves as the artist empowerment company. Remember when we saved music? Remember when we did that? But the other reason they posted this is because it's an advertisement. If it can happen to this guy, it can happen to you. You just need a little nudge to get started, and we can provide it for you. It was around this time that Spotify started rolling out more promotional features specifically targeted at artists. Marquee ads, playlist pitching, this entire campaign kit that's often presented as more of a necessity than a luxury. They know that a lot of struggling artists are desperate for a break, and by using people like Lance to show that a better future might be possible, they're now able to monetize that desperation. They have made millions of dollars off of independent artists by selling them on a dream. Just a few years after this blog was posted, after using these kinds of stories to advertise their promotional tools, Spotify had all but abandoned people like Lance. In 2023, he took to Twitter to express how impossible it had become for him to compete with the stock music farms taking over the platform. And today, when you look at the same playlist,
oh, don't tell me he went broke. I'm gonna be sad as fuck if he went broke. God damn.
That once helped jumpstart his career, there doesn't seem to be a single real person on it. The final evolution of Spotify flexing their muscles in the face of independent artists was a tool they released in 2020 called Discovery Mode. By opting your songs into it, you increase the likelihood of having them recommended across the app, and in exchange, Spotify gets to keep 30% of your revenue.
So not only do they already keep a lot of money on the company because they're literally putting in their own AI music and their own AI music that they own the rights to, so they're basically taking more of the streaming cap. Now they're taking 30% of their shit still. Oh my God.
Pretty quickly, a lot of people in the industry were comparing this to something called payola, a common practice in the 1950s where labels would bribe DJs under the table to play their songs on the radio, gaming the system and making people think they were way more popular than they actually were. Payola became the subject of a bunch of lawsuits, investigations, and even arrests before being outlawed in the 1960s. But like a lot of things that used to be illegal, just give it enough time and someone will find a loophole to make it okay again. The argument that Spotify makes to try and differentiate their program is that you don't have to pay any money up front. You pay on the back end. So it's different, but it works exactly the same way. The order of the transaction doesn't really matter when they've gone on record to brag about how many artists they've gotten to sign up for it and how many hundreds of millions of dollars they've retained as a result.
But first, let's talk payola. That's pay for play.
You cannot buy your way onto a playlist.
If anyone offers you pay for play to get on a Spotify playlist, it's a scam.
Hey, you can't give money to some website to end up in a playlist. That's wrong. If you want to get in playlists, give that money to us.
It's a scam.
Now, yeah, get that money to us on the back end with your commissions. We'll take that. We'll take those. We want those. Like, why these niggas some scammers, boy? Fuck!
I've been thinking through the past couple sections, Drew. This is all very interesting, and you're looking weirdly handsome today. But I
didn't think that. Why did he just hijacked my thoughts? I didn't think that. He just stole me. He just took me. What the fuck was that? I mean, all right, man. Fuck.
listen to Spotify playlists, so none of this affects me. And it's important to point out that the algorithmic boost given to these songs applies to every method of discovery across the app. So that could be autoplaying after you finish an album, any radio mix from a song or artist, your Discover Weekly, your daily mixes. Hell, even if you just accidentally click the shuffle button twice and turn on this stupid feature, you are being served songs at a disproportionate level. Even though Spotify has long been putting less emphasis in their officially curated playlists and more in their individually generated ones, they're all still made using the same algorithm. An algorithm that is increasingly being influenced by pay-to-play. It's honestly kind of crazy that Spotify is able to monetize the same product in both directions. Listeners have to pay in order to hear music that artists have had to pay in order to be heard. They created a problem in order to sell you the solution.
And that right there is called racketeering. And racketeers, we don't negotiate with them. If you still using Spotify right now, you're a retard. Man, you're dumb. Nigga, you're dumb.
Discovery mode is often described as a win-win for everyone, even though that's literally not possible because it's not creating any more revenue. It's just distributing it differently. If it was truly a win-win for both artists and Spotify, well then everyone should sign up for it. But then what would happen if
everyone should be automatically signed up for it, but not everyone is automatically signed up because it only creates profit in the direction of Spotify. And that's why now everybody's using it.
single artist did. Whatever algorithmic boost they received would then be offset by the fact that somehow everyone else needs to get boosted too. Effectively, nothing would change, except of course that Spotify would get a 30% discount on every single song that ever plays algorithmically. And from looking into it, it kind of seems like this is already starting to happen. I'm wondering if they reached a point where too many artists signed up for the program and now it's not able to do anything because there simply aren't enough plays to go around. Don't worry though, I can almost guarantee that in the next couple of years, they're gonna put out some revamped discovery mode, a higher tier of visibility for just a little bit more. Wait, you're still only giving away 30% of your revenue? Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. Everyone else is giving away 80%. In the early days, Spotify was able to use their giant pool of investor money to inflate artist payouts to make it seem like it was worth putting their music here. And so they did. Everyone did. And now they don't have to overpay to convince people anymore. Artists are gonna come here no matter what. They have to. The industry runs through Spotify. Their subscribers have multiplied to unfathomable numbers, while the cost of that subscription has increased every 14 months like clockwork. And yet, individual streams for independent musicians have never been worth less. And now we're at the inevitable part of every tech endeavor's life cycle where the priority moves from gaining market share to strictly profitability at all costs. So they will continue to cut corners and underpay for content and
It's so crazy when I look at businesses. There's never a time where they're just like, okay, we've grown enough. Let's just sustain and keep this for as long as we possibly can. And if we get some more growth opportunities that are organic and not, parasitic, we'll take those. But no, every time they're in those boardrooms, if that motherfucking graph line isn't going this way, isn't doing this shit right here, it can do a little bit of this. But you see how the line is always going to the fucking top right? If it ain't doing that shit, they don't want to see it. These niggas don't give a fuck. They want to get that money at all costs, man. And part of me respects it. I ain't gonna lie. And I hate that. But part of me respects it. Nigga like, hey, right, you know what I'm saying? Try to get to that bag, nigga.
Solidify their product, hoping you're too loyal to take your business somewhere else. Meanwhile, their CEO, who is richer than any musician in the history of the world, has used that fortune to invest over $500 million into a company that makes strike drones for the military. In a world full of terrible corporations run by awful people, Spotify seems determined to vault themselves up to the top of that list. And yet, when it comes to music, they're still not even the biggest source of evil. Historically, music has always been a top-heavy, exploitative industry. Young artists would get signed to aggressively long contracts that they didn't fully understand until years later when it was too late because they were trapped in it. In the 1990s, Prince went through a years-long public dispute with Warner Brothers over creative and monetary disagreement. It got so bad that in protest, he changed his name to an unpronounceable symbol. The label tried to use his publicity stunts to frame him as this spoiled, crazy diva, but he was just fighting to be paid what he was worth. Sure, he was making a lot of money, but it still paled in comparison to what Warner
he should have been making in the first place, bro. No cap.
Was profiting off the back of his labor. And when he was finally able to get out of that deal and self-fund and self-promote his own work, he proved that he had been getting screwed over because he made infinitely more money even on tours and albums that were less commercially successful. In 2007, after their record label was unwilling to
That's so crazy, man. Shout out to Prince. Rest in peace, bro. God damn, they cooked my mans. That's ridiculous.
Negotiate with them, Radiohead put out their In Rainbows album online using a pay whatever you want model, even if the amount that you wanted to pay was $0. And yet, they made more money distributing it this way than they had from all of their previous records combined. But it does beg the question, what the hell kind of deals were these guys signed to where they could sell?
And this just really highlights the importance of lawyers. What the fuck are y'all signing? Can none of y'all read? I know they put these papers in front of y'all and say sign it here. But I'm not gonna lie, you gotta take your glasses, your favorite reading glasses, pick it up, and just read that shit for at least 5 hours. At least. Just take your time, read it for 5 hours. Go to Google, search up words you don't understand, look in the dictionary, look at them in context, really take your time. Call your lawyers, really talk to your lawyers. Cause these niggas just signing whatever the fuck. I don't know, man. It just you feel me? Shit crazy.
Millions and millions of
me, nigga, if I was a famous ass artist and I got my first record deal, nigga, I'm looking at that. I'm like, bro, if this shit don't favor me in every single possible way, I'm not signing this shit. Fuck you.
albums and barely see any money from it. Well, for starters, it wasn't uncommon for artists to be owed a single-digit percentage of the revenue made from their work. Not that they owe 5% of it, right? That's how much they get to keep. Even on the high end, that number tends to be about 15. When you first sign that deal, though, you're not worried about that because the label is going to lure you in with a number that blows your mind at a time in your life when you're probably broke. So when they offer you an advance of, say,
yeah, they're gonna give you a crazy ass advance and say you get to keep only 5% of your sales. Me, I would have been like, okay, keep the crazy ass advance. I want 80% of my music. And if they say no, I'm out. Fuck y'all.
$250,000.
Which is that's not enough. That's not enough. Damn. They're about to make this off you times 200. Damn near. My nigga, if you him, they're gonna make times at least 200. But if you're like a smaller artist, maybe times 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like, damn.
You're gonna say, do you have a pen? Where can I sign? And you're made aware that that money isn't actually yours to keep, that it's just a loan that you have to.
And that money's not even yours to keep. That money's not even yours to keep. You don't even get to keep the money. It's a loan. It's a fucking crazy ass loan you have to pay back. Or else you're stuck. Man, these niggas greedy as fuck.
To pay back, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever, you'll figure all that out later. For now, what matters is you're confident in yourself, and that number represents legitimacy. You made it. You are a professional musician now. So you go and record the album while renting a lifestyle that you're not yet able to afford. And if you're lucky, that album does well. Really well, actually. You sold 500,000 copies. Your music has already generated $5 million. Great, I'll take my 15%, I'll deduct the advance, and I got a pretty sweet payday for myself. Well, not so fast there, Rockstar. We're not done subtracting. The advance wasn't the only loan. Every single resource we provided to you needs to be paid for as well. The deal was you had access to them, not that you get them for free. So we're just gonna make a few small adjustments, and before you know it, you somehow owe more debt than the amount we loaned you to start with. With each subsequent...
That should be fucking illegal. That should be illegal. Oh my fucking god, this is great. I would be so pissed off if this happened to me, bro. I'll be mad. I'll be sick to my stomach, bro.
Album, you only fall deeper and deeper into financial ruin. And you're one of the successful ones. But as bad as this is on paper, it's usually even worse in practice. Because oftentimes, the other companies that you as an artist are forced to do business with are also owned by the record label. So per the contract, we're able to deduct certain production costs before we calculate the amount that you are owed. Well, the thing is, we actually own the factory that produces all your CDs. And so the price for that is, how do I put this? Whatever we want it to be. We can say a bunch of them broke, we can print and sell records we never even tell you about. Dude, we can pull numbers out of our ass. The more money you earn, the more deductions we'll come up with to offset. And this process is never an accident. It's very much part of the business model. For example, back in the 40s and 50s, vinyl records were pretty fragile, which made them susceptible to breaking or scratching in transit. So to account for this, there would generally be a flat, like 15% reduction in revenue owed to the artist. Now, if common sense.
Why? If them weak ass fucking discs break, why is that cost being charged to the artist? It should be charged to the company. The company made the discs. They should pay for the fucking discs, not the art. Okay.
Were to be applied. You would think that as the industry moved away from vinyls and into nearly indestructible CDs and cassettes, that this charge would go away. It did not. Even into the digital era, where we're talking about MP3 files.
My nigga, I put this on God. I have not touched a CD in 10 fucking years. I'm about to be 20. In 10 years, I have not touched a CD. I'm about to be 20. Like, bro, this is ridiculous, okay?
Many of those breakage fees were still incorporated. It is total nonsense. It is highway robbery. An accounting firm that was referenced in this book, who was responsible for thousands of audits regarding
hey, shout out to the kitty though, man, you know what I mean?
hundreds of millions of dollars in royalties, could recall only one time ever where the audit revealed that it was the artist who owed money to the label. I can't believe they just kept making the same error over and over again, and it always worked out in favor of the labels. That's crazy. There's so many coincidences in the music industry. But we're still not done, because even then, they're not just gonna give you that money back. They're gonna look you in the eyes and say, What are you gonna do about it? Sure, if you're successful enough, you could try to take on a lawsuit and fight a battle that best case scenario could earn you a decent settlement, but most likely you're not gonna wanna do that because they have all the resources in the world to out-lawyer you and waste all your money until there's none of it left. So they'll offer a fraction of what they owe you and hope that it makes you stop whining. But be careful, you might have pissed them off. They might be holding a grudge against you. That next album that you owe us, you still have to record it, you still have to pay us for it, but we're not gonna put it out. I hope you enjoyed making music while it lasted, because that's over now. This is the kind of exploitation that happens when power gets consolidated at the top. When the labels that you can't live without control every part of the machine that you are forced to use.
Well, signing a record label is actually, it might be one of the stupidest things you could actually do as an artist. I'm not gonna lie. Bro. If you're an artist, nigga, you want to come up, don't sign that shit, gang. Just, bro, you gotta find a way to do this shit. I almost want to say by yourself. I mean, you can have a team, but don't sign that shit, bro. I genuinely don't see the incentive to sign a record label deal. This shit is predatory as fuck. They're giving predatory loans as common business practice. Like what? You don't even get to keep the advance. You have to pay that back. You have to pay back other shit too. They're a debt collection agency masking as a music business. I'm done.
So much money for so many people that have nothing to do with the creative process at all. There's no road you can go down that the artist isn't fucked.
But things started to change pretty drastically in the 2000s. The rise of the internet brings on Napster and eventually LimeWire. For the first time in decades, overall music revenue is declining. But remember, most of that money was going to record labels. So they were also the ones losing the most of it.
You see, I'm not a Napster fan. It seems to me like people are getting ripped off.
It's interesting because the artists don't get paid anyway.
Piracy may have been bad for the music.
And that's why I fuck with Prince. Prince really made it a big thing to like be almost a contrarian to a lot of these motherfuckers. Because niggas thought they could just say whatever to Prince and Prince would just nod his head. That nigga Prince said, actually, fuck you. I'm Prince. I fuck with that. Actually, fuck you. I'm black and I'm Prince. So stop talking to me. I fuck with that, bro.
Industry, but in a way, it might have ultimately been a good thing for musicians because it caused a long overdue disruption. It took power out of the hands of people who'd been abusing it. Then social media starts to take over. Suddenly fans can talk directly to their fans on MySpace. They can post about their shows on Facebook. The labels are now losing their status as the gatekeepers. Many of the marketing tools they offered, the things that they were able to justify taking 99% of your money for, were kind of becoming obsolete. Fast forward to today, anyone can upload music to a streaming service. Anyone can build a fan base. And in fact, a label won't even think about signing you unless you've already built a pretty big following online. But then at that point, it's like, what do you even need them for?
Yeah, I'm saying, what do they do? What kind of, how are they going to distribute better than TikTok? TikTok has one of the most like insane discoverability algorithms ever. How are they going to distribute better than YouTube? YouTube literally has one of the most insane discoverability algorithms ever. Like when it comes to like literally like on the long form side and on the short side, like they literally like have some of the best discoverability ever. Like nigga, my channel only has 306 subscribers. You can go on my videos. I have videos that have done thousands of views. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like shit's crazy. You can get thousands of views like without even trying on this platform. It's crazy.
You've done the hard part. They're probably just gonna swoop in, take as much of your money as they can, and then drop you as soon as your fans move on to someone else. So then the question is, how are they still able to get away with it? I thought we democratized the music industry. How do the labels still have so much power? Well, this is where record labels and Spotify intersect. Now, when you talk about record labels, there's a whole bunch of them, but there's really only 3 conglomerates that matter.
I think I got them. UMG, Sony, and one more. And Universal or some shit, I don't know.
Sony, Universal, and Warner, sometimes referred to.
Oh, what the fuck? I missed one. When I say Sony, Universal, and what was the other one? I forgot. I don't remember.
As
UMG. But Universal is UMG. I'm tripping. I'm crazy.
Majors or the big three. Thanks to their obsession with gobbling up every single thing they come into contact with, they now own about 70% of all recorded music in history. I cannot emphasize enough that anybody who tried to do what Spotify did, which was to put every song ever made in one place for a small monthly fee, couldn't have made it even 1 inch without bending over backwards for the record labels. It doesn't matter how good their user interface or algorithm is if they didn't have the music that people want to listen to. So the majors have always had extraordinary leverage over them, and they've maximized the hell out of it. They negotiated massive advances from Spotify with no guarantee that any of that money would trickle down to their artists. They got a bunch of free ad space that they would typically just sell with no guarantee that any of that money would trickle down to their artists. And they also received a significant amount.
In fact, that word trickle down is fucking insane. Trickle down economics, trickle down anything that's doing money is so like Ronald Reagan deserves to burn forever. If he's not in hell right now, bro, if he's not in hell right now, I'm upset. You know what really fixed my day? Just send me a little picture of Ronald Reagan burning in hellfire, and that will fix my day all the way. You know what I'm saying? No cap.
Amount of equity in Spotify, about 18% total. I think maybe the most insane detail I learned about while making this video happened in 2018. At the time, Spotify is quickly becoming the industry standard. Their user base is growing every year, the company's getting bigger, but they want to open up the floor to more investors, so they're ready to launch their IPO. But around the same time, their licensing agreement with the big three labels was about to expire. Oh my God, talk about leverage. The labels had Spotify by the balls. They could have renegotiated just about anything, because if they didn't like the terms, they could have just taken all their artists off of the platform right before they go public, and it would have completely destroyed them, because who's gonna invest in a music company that doesn't have any music on it? So what did the majors do with all this power? Well, they negotiated their rates down.
What?
They asked for less money. Why would they do that, you're asking? Are they stupid? Well, we need to refer back to that pie chart.
Are they stupid? And that's the first time. I think it's the first time like he has gotten mad at somebody I think this is the first time he's gotten mad at a company for asking for more money. No cap. That's crazy.
Chart from earlier. Now, even though most of these royalties end up going to record labels, some of them end up in the disgusting hands of independent artists. And we hate them. Their greed is ruining an otherwise perfect business model. But then even the money that does go to the record labels has to be shared with all of our stupid artists. And we hate them just as much. Sure, we've already made it so it's as small of a percentage as it could possibly be, but it's still not nothing. We'd prefer if it was nothing. If only we could leverage their work to make hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars without having to owe them a cent. Well, here's where that equity comes in. When they lowered artist royalty rates, Spotify became a more valuable company. This meant their stock price went up, and the majors could cash out for more. They figured out how to get paid anyway, but with money that their artists have no contractual claim to. But that wasn't the only benefit for record labels, because they also have something in their contract with Spotify called the Most Favored Nation clause. And what that means is that nobody else outside of the big three is allowed to negotiate higher rates with Spotify. So when they lowered the rate for their artists, they in turn also lowered it for everybody else. Even if you don't work with a label, they will still find ways to screw you out of money. Now, unfortunately, record companies hoarding the majority of the money their artists earn for them is nothing new. It's been a staple of the industry for at least the past century. But the good news is live music is thriving. Ticket sales are high, and musicians of all sizes are being fairly compensated. At least according to an article I just read from March 9th, 2020. Wait, let me make sure nothing drastic has changed since then. If the record industry is a story of 3 companies owning all of the music, then the live event industry is a story of 1 company controlling the entire mechanism by which concerts operate. Since merging in 2010, Ticketmaster and Live Nation have bulldozed their way into a monopoly that controls every part of the transaction. Not only do they own most of the biggest venues, but they've made it so the only way you can buy tickets to those venues is through them. And now that you have no other choice, we can charge all kinds of exorbitant fees. Service fees, processing fees, convenience fees. Come on, guys.
Bro, convenience fees in the age of the internet that's fucking highway robbery. Paying a ticket, like you say you get a speeding ticket, you know you have to like pay a convenience fee on top of the ticket. I'm conveniently getting fucked by the government. This is why I don't respect these niggas. I hate them so much. Bro. I fucking hate the police. They're so fucking, bro. Being a police is one of the most dishonorable, lamest jobs you could ever have as a human being. You're a dog, my nigga. You're a pig. Bitch ass, you're a pig, nigga. Fuck y'all.
Isn't this convenient? And the monopoly goes in every direction, since most artists are forced to work with them as well.
If they want to take 10% of the revenues and call it a facility fee, they can and have. If they want to charge $30,000 for the house nut, they can and have.
Some good news, the government sued Live Nation back in 2024, a lawsuit that recently reached a settlement. One of their processing fees, which was revealed to be pure profit and didn't actually cover any costs, is now illegal. The bad news, they just moved it over to a service fee instead. At least with streaming services, you can say that the customer is getting a good value. $12 a month for a trillion songs, and I can listen to the Hours of Silence podcast. The prices aren't the problem. It's just what happens to that money later. But with live music, Ticketmaster's monopoly only drives prices higher and higher and higher. Couple that with a rapidly worsening economy for the average person, and attendance rates are going way down. Some huge...
Like, I'm not the biggest fan of concerts in general. Like, I'm not looking forward to going to a concert ever. Like, I went to a concert with my girl because she bought the tickets and she wanted me to go, so I went with her. We had a great time. I enjoyed being there with her. It was so wonderful. Shout out Don Toliver for really putting on for Houston. No cap, shit was fucking magnificent. But with that all being said, I don't give a fuck about concerts. I ain't gonna lie. Why would I go to a concert when I could just listen to this shit on my phone, nigga? Because I'm not a dick rider. I'm not the type of nigga to be like, oh my God, such and such is gonna be there. I can't wait to see them. For one, I don't know them. I'm not gonna be excited to see somebody I don't know personally. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know them. If I don't know someone personally, from my personal experience, I don't care about them. I have that. That's like object. That's like something, you know how people have object permanence where if they're not looking at something, they don't care about it? I have that same thing with people. Like, if I don't see that person on my day-to-day life or speak to that person in my day-to-day life, I don't care about them. They're irrelevant to me. They don't exist to me. They exist only as entertainment to me. They're not real. So, like, J. Cole, Party Next Door, all these big artists, I love their music so much, I would never go to their concert. I would never go to a concert. Like, I might go once and then never go ever again because guess what? I don't care. I don't give a fuck. The music is not going to hit anymore because I'm watching them sing it in person. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. It's not going to hit more because I'm looking at them live in a stage. Fuck, I don't care. The fuck.
Artists with massive streaming numbers have had to cancel entire tours because not enough of their tickets were selling. And yet, if you ask Live Nation CEO, he'll say they're still not expensive enough.
Average concert price is $72. The concert is underpriced. It's like a badge of honor to spend 70 grand for a Knicks courtside.
Bitch, it's not a badge of fucking honor to spend $70 fucking dollars on weak ass fucking seats at a weak ass fucking concert, you bald ass bitch. Fuck this dude. Oh my God, man. God damn.
They beat me up if we charge $800 for Beyonce.
One of the biggest causes of price gouging is the resale market. Now, an artist might try to set a maximum ticket price on one of their tours because they want as many of their fans as possible to be able to afford it. But unless they have enough negotiating power, there's nothing stopping the secondary ticket market from swooping in and ruining it for everybody else. A 2016 law called the Bots Act was supposed to make it illegal for scalpers to use certain technology to buy large quantities of tickets and resell it all for a profit, but Ticketmaster could not give less of a fuck about that. When a ticket gets resold through their website, they get to collect service fees on it twice. One, when the scalper first bought it from them, and then an even bigger fee when they resell it for a higher price. The resale market is a huge factor for why tickets have ended up so expensive. But it's important to...
I would never buy shoes from a reseller. Why the fuck would I buy tickets from a reseller? That's just a lie. I'm pretty sure Goat is a reseller. Yeah, I'm lying. I bought shoes from Goat multiple times. The Goat's actually pretty good. I don't hate Goat at all, actually. That's crazy. I fucking love Goat. Goat got me mad J's. I don't hate Goat. My fault. I'm sorry. I'm a liar. I'm a fraud. I'm a phony. I'm a bad guy. But no, I would never buy concert tickets from a fucking scalper, though. I ain't gonna lie. I don't care about concerts that much. I never have, never will. I'd rather listen to that shit in my fucking car on my way to work than sit there and have to spend all that money. And then mind you, I have to buying food at concerts. It's fucking expensive as shit too. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is ridiculous.
Remember that any of that profit from a resale doesn't make its way back to the artist. To them, the transaction ended when the first sale was made. So even though they tried to make the ticket more affordable, their fans still had to pay twice as much anyway. Only that entire profit ends up in the hands of Ticketmaster and the person or company who resold it. Which sometimes is also Ticketmaster. The artists lose, the fans lose, but the giant company wins again. Now, these had all been growing problems for years, but where shit really hit the fan was during COVID. The industry got decimated, especially for smaller venues and musicians. But many of the ones that did survive have seen their profits drop to an almost unsustainable level. I wanted to ask some touring musicians about the business side of things, so I drove up to Gainesville, Florida to talk to my friends Sergio and Andrew, who at the time of recording were about halfway through their tour with the band Dance Gavin Dance.
Let's break down like a tour. We do 2 buses, 1 bus for the band and 1 bus for the crew. And then we have a semi because we have production, lighting, and all of our sound gear, all of our in-ear monitors, and then all of our backlights, so our amp. So when you do all of that,
you know, this is actually a really, really cool look into what it's like to tour as an artist. I'm loving it. This is fire. Hold on, I would watch a podcast of this, no bullshit.
Now you've got probably $300,000+ right out the gate.
My fault, y'all. Anytime I hear exorbitant amounts of money spent, my heart sinks to my ass every time. Hold on, I gotta get my heart back out my ass. Oh shit, 300. Oh my god, fuck, that's crazy. Damn.
For a month plus long tour for just transportation. That doesn't cover gas, which is higher than ever.
Let's say, you know, a fan's.
Oh, let's talk about them gas prices, yo. Donald Trump needs to be fucking slapped in the face. He's a fucking moron, bro. The art of the deal, bro. Iran left the fucking table because he threatened them, bro. He's a fucking idiot. That old geriatric piece of shit needs to know how to close his fucking mouth and sign the fucking deal, and get his fucking lapdog Israel in fucking control. Because if my gas prices keep going up, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Spends, just for math's sake, $100 on a ticket. That's a lot for a fan to spend, but you take all these costs away and all of a sudden the amount of that's actually going to the band, what percentage goes to everyone who reaches their hands in?
Management agent, just on our team's side of things, 30% already gone. Your Live Nation, your extra fees, things like that, that's usually an extra 10%, sometimes 15, in some cases 20. The abstracts would be your expenses, usually about 50%, sometimes more on bigger tours. That leaves maybe $10 to $20 out of that ticket that goes to the band, and then that would be split 4 ways. So let's say it's 20. If there's 4 members of your band, you're each getting $5.
Now, Dance Gavin Dance is doing well for themselves. They're one of the bigger touring bands out there right now. But by extrapolating this cost structure out to most bands that are a fraction of their size, you can see how it's becoming increasingly difficult to turn a profit from touring. And that's kind of a problem, because historically speaking, that's where most of their money is supposed to come from. I'm nervous for the future of the industry for the same reason that I'm hopeful about it. People are always going to make music no matter what. It's an intrinsic part of our lives. It's one of humanity.
Honestly, as Michael Jackson said, it's human nature. It's just human nature. When they say why, tell them that is human nature. Why? And you do it that way. It's human nature, man. You know what I'm saying? No cap. The world cannot exist without music. Music is one of the things we live for as humans. You know what I'm saying?
These oldest art forms. Most musicians would make music for free. They would do it even if they lost money. It just sucks that a lot of people know that, and so they seem determined to make sure that they do. I think the best way to support musicians, especially if they're independent, is to try to buy directly from them. Bandcamp is a great way to do this. Your money's gonna go a lot further there than it is on streaming services. But also physical versions of music, CDs, vinyls. I love collecting vinyls. I've been doing it since before I even had a record player. Nobody wants to sell you objects anymore. They just want you to sign up for a cloud subscription service.
That kind of wouldn't work for me because I don't like objects like that, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have posters in my room. I don't have a vinyl collection. I'm not that cool of a person, bro. I don't know, gang. My money be tight. Money be tight, and I don't be thinking about using my money to buy that type of shit. I be thinking about using my money more like to buy food and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really think about that. But when I do start getting more money, I'm gonna definitely kind of look into, adding more art more physical art into my life, you know. I think that's more of a later thing though than right now, honestly, to be quite real with y'all, bro.
But I like owning physical objects that I can touch and look at and that represent a piece of art that I love. The fact that I can also listen to it is kind of just a bonus. Streaming can be great for music discovery. I mean, sometimes it's nice to just have a machine play a bunch of songs until they find one that you like. I can't.
The machine that does that for me is TikTok. I'm not gonna lie, man. TikTok has done so much for my music listening experience. Like, I'll hear something on TikTok and I'm like, this is fucking wonderful. Go on fucking. I use Musi. Musi is, bro, it's basically connected to YouTube, bro. I use Musi, go on Musi, find that shit, play that shit, and listen to that shit all fucking night, bro. It does, it's so good. Shout out TikTok, bro. It's a good music discovery tool for sure.
On my Spotify a couple years ago, but I still use YouTube Music because it's included in premium and I was already paying for that anyway. And I found a lot of cool bands from it. It's a useful service. But I also don't want to take it for granted, you know? Just because it was easy for me to discover an album doesn't mean it was easy for them to make it. If someone's music adds value to my life, I want to try to give some of that back. And I don't think the 2 cents they're getting for my subscription revenue is gonna cut it. Now, what I wanted to do for this video was secretly—
Man, you're an angel. His brother's an angel. Goddamn.
Put out some of my own music and document the journey of trying to be an independent musician in 2026. But obviously, music takes a lot of time. You gotta learn an instrument, you gotta write something, you gotta learn how to record it, you gotta put it out, you gotta figure out what the hell DistroKid is. It's not the kind of thing you can just pull out of your ass in a couple of months, you know? So I decided that if I was going to do it, I should probably start 4 years ago. In 20—
Oh my god, this nigga is the GOAT!
In 2022, my friend CJ
and his hair's blue, and his hair's blue, I think. Is that him or was that somebody else? I don't know.
Julian asked me if I wanted to go jam with them in a U-Haul storage unit, and I said, sure, why not? Even though I knew why not, because the thought of playing guitar in front of other people made me want to shit my pants. But I also knew that sometimes the only way to grow as a person is to do stuff that scares you. I wish it wasn't. I wish you could grow just by playing on the computer. But pretty soon we started practicing once a week and then twice a week. Then our friend Kevin joined the band, which meant that Julian and I could both play guitar instead of taking turns pretending to know how to play bass. At that point, we had already written a bunch of songs, so we decided it was time to play them in public.
Made me want to shit my pants.
The first show we ever did was an open mic at a kava bar where, for some reason, I wore the shortest shorts that I own. Our next show—
They're not that short. Those are some pretty okay shorts, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Was at another kava bar where we were way too loud, and then we played a hardcore show where we were way too quiet. This show was a nightmare for me. Nobody liked our music. I said thank you like 100 times, and during the last song, which was supposed to be like our big heavy closer, I was getting so much feedback from my amp that I had to turn off my distortion pedal, and then no one could hear me. And since our music is instrumental, it's kind of important that people can hear the instrument. I left that show questioning my entire existence. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I should just give up. And then our next show was the best one so far. We did a couple more shows here and there, but then we took a break to focus on our real goal, which was to make an album. We had the space to record it. We had started buying the equipment. Kevin was learning FL Studio. We had a bunch of songs. So instead of just dropping like 1 or 2 singles and moving on, we decided we're not going to put anything out until we finish an entire album. Plus,
I honestly think that's also smart too, because if I was to make music, I would probably start with a cool 10 song album with 2 singles. I'll play 1 single, then another single, then drop the album and kind of just focus on what I want to do next year. Then next year I'll probably drop 3 singles and drop another album, then do something else. Like, I think honestly, when you're an artist, I think 1 album a year is kind of where you want to be quite honest with you, bro. Not gonna lie.
How long did it take, right? 3 months? 6 months? 2 years! Turns out when you're 4 adult men with 4 adult jobs, 3 if you don't count YouTuber, there are only so many hours a week you have to devote to your instrumental emo band. So finally, after months of staring at the back of Kevin's head, we exported the album. We hired our friend Alexa to do the artwork. The only direction I gave her for this was like, I don't know, maybe something with a bird on it. And then she hand painted this beautiful masterpiece. It's actually too good. It's better than our music is. For real though, we're all extremely—
Damn. It's better than our music. Oh, fuck, that's crazy. But that shit fire, I ain't gonna lie. She cooked.
Really proud of this album and the work that went into it. And we'd love it if you gave it a listen. It's like half the length of this video, so you can't tell me that you don't have time. You could have listened to it twice already instead of watching this crap. Actually, for all I know, you could have already listened to it. We put it out back in March of last year. So here's what the past 15 months has been like. At first, things were better than I expected. We had a couple of the YouTube videos get like 100 views right away. One of the most gratifying moments of this entire process was getting like 3 comments from people saying, I don't know how I got here, but this is really good. At one point I saw that somebody Shazammed one of our songs and we talked about it for a week. So everything was going pretty good, and then like a month later, it completely stopped. Turns out it doesn't matter how much time and effort and money you put into music. If you throw it up on streaming services and don't tell anyone about it, it's probably just gonna disappear into the void.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You gotta advertise your shit, bro. That's why record labels were so important to the game. But you gotta talk about it. You gotta put that shit out there somewhere, bro, or else niggas not gonna see it. You feel me? That organic discovery doesn't exist anymore. You have to use short form to kind of build that base of viewers. You know what I'm saying?
There were weeks where I'd get an email from Apple that were like, hey, just letting you know, nobody listened to your music this week. Keep up the good work. It really does feel like we put a drop of water into the middle of the ocean and we're just waiting for people to find it. I guess it also probably doesn't help that our band name has terrible SEO, because it's a word that already exists but that we purposely spelled wrong. On some platforms, you can't find it even if you're going out of your way to. But a couple months ago, I decided that it was time to lock in and that I would earnestly navigate some of the artist engagement tools the internet shoves in your face. I'd started using the band's Instagram page more to post about shows and connect with some other bands, and I could tell that already Meta had all of the information they needed to categorize me into what I can only assume they call their desperate artist program. Because suddenly every single ad I got was about posting banner ads on Spotify or having a website analyze my songs so they could pitch them to playlists. Oh my God, this interface is so predatory. They are doing everything they can to convince you that they're on your side. What do we get out of this?
Hey, I really like this video though, because he's coming at it from both perspectives. Of the perspective of a much more made artist like a Prince, you know, who had to kind of fight through this shit at the point he had to fight through it, and then from his perspective as kind of a more less known creator of music having to fight through the same shit. It's a very eye-opening video. This is a very eye-opening experience, no cap.
Nothing, man. We just want to help a brother out. Now, if you wouldn't mind giving us $40. And what the fuck is this? Your analysis is expiring in 10 minutes? How? What are you gonna forget? My trepidation turned to joy, though, when they told me that my sophisticated arrangement makes me stand out from amateur producers. Wow. I'm flattered. They also told me I had a 74 hit potential. I had no idea. Who was gonna tell me I was sitting on top of a gold mine? Out of curiosity, I tried another one of my songs. It's called Golden, and I wrote it for the Netflix original movie K-Pop Demon Hunters. And oh my God, the craziest thing happened. They told me almost the exact same shit, except they only gave this song a 72. That's right. My instrumental guitar band has more commercial potential than the 7th most popular song of 2025. Well, I guess.
Bro, you wrote that? Damn, nigga. I don't know what it is though, because I didn't watch K-Pop Demon Hunters, but damn, boy, you got clout. Oh.
Guess that confirms it. They're just lying to me to try and get my money. Or they're telling the truth, and I'm gonna perform at the Grammys. Better get my credit card out just in case. Before I fully give up on this website, though, I do want to try one more track. It's kind of niche, it's a little vulnerable, but I'm just curious to see if maybe somewhere out there, there's an audience for it. It's called 1,000 Farts, and it's an hour long. And would you look at that? This one has the highest score so far. This could very well become the most popular song ever made. The more I engaged with these ads, the more it confirmed that I was interested, and then any future ads I got seemed like they weren't even really trying that hard. Yeah, we actually don't know anything about your song. But just give us $100. Come on, what's the worst that could happen? You die? I don't think that could happen from this. So just give us $100. I swear on my life, I will try my absolute hardest to get you on Top White Girl Music 2026 Songs to Sing Along, Best Song to Listen to at Parties. And if that doesn't work, we could always try one called The Best Songs ever. Sure, that seems like a realistic place to start. The sheer flood of similar websites honestly made me distrustful of this entire cottage industry as a whole. But for the video, I wanted to try at least one of them. So I ran a campaign on SubmitHub. Now I have no idea if this is any more legit than these other websites, but at the very least, I think it's been around the longest. But just like,
honestly, from my perspective, all these websites are fucking trash. I'm just keep it a stack. They're all fucking lame. They're all trash, and I think I hate them all. Respectfully.
the ones from the ads, immediately asking for $100. This time though,
and they all want $100. But this time he bid it and he gave him 100.
No, I paid it. And then for the next several days, I physically winced every time I opened my email to see a roundup of the process so far. Rejection after rejection after rejection. Everyone generally had nice things to say. Hey man, this sounds great. You guys should be proud of this. I'd fucking kill myself before putting it on any of my playlists, but good luck. I'll give SubmitHub a little bit of credit for at least being transparent. You can see exactly how the curators listen to your song. The problem though is that in some cases, how they listened to it was barely at all. I also realized in hindsight that I probably shouldn't have let them auto-pick the curators after guessing my genre. And I should have tried to find playlists with music that sounds similar to me and then manually targeted those. But at the same time, the one playlist I feel like we probably had the best chance of getting on didn't even listen to half the song or give any feedback. And this cost me money. I had to pay this person. The low point of this process for me was when SubmitHub emailed me an AI summary of all my rejections. I also could have just copied and pasted them all into Grok, but thanks for doing it for me, I guess. Not really sure what I'm supposed to do with this. None of these people wanted our song. What, am I gonna frame this on my wall? Yes. For a little over $105, I ran a couple of decent meta ads, received entrance into one playlist that will, at best, net us a handful of streams, and I got a ChatGPT summary of everything I'm doing wrong. Now, I'm not saying that my bad experience should discount all of these services entirely. Obviously, it works for some people.
It will discount it, but it definitely puts a stain on it. These are all fucking lame to me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is ridiculous.
Some of the time. But it sure seems like this is just yet another opportunity for one more pair of grabby hands to lunge towards your pockets as you try desperately to make waves in an endless ocean of content. The more oversaturated music gets, the more common these kinds of websites will become, and the more people who will try to profit off your optimism before it runs out. Getting anybody to give a shit about our music felt impossible, but at the same time, it didn't really bother me that much. Because we didn't make this music with the hopes that it would like go viral. We made it because we wanted to. We wrote the exact kind of music that we like to listen to. This album only exists because we made it exist. And no amount of rejection emails will ever take that away from us. A lot has changed for us the past year. Julian left the band and we've had to kind of reconfigure as a three-piece. But we're still writing a lot of music and we still play shows every so often. If you want to see more of what we end up doing, follow us on Instagram. We also have a YouTube channel that I'm going to post some playthroughs on. And I'll probably throw some other random shit out there too. So subscribe if that's something you're interested in. I do have to mention though, the incident. On May 27th, we played a show at Will's Pub. We were opening for a really cool band, I Met a Yeti. It was an awesome night. Everyone had a great time. But somebody took a video of it and put it on TikTok, and now everybody knows my secret. I cannot believe that I successfully hid this from the world for 4 years, and then like 2 weeks before I plan on making a video about it, someone else beat me to the punch. Not cool, bro. But I guess it just goes to show that everything I said in this video was a total fucking lie. Music's easy. What are you guys whining about? All you have to do is be a YouTuber for 9 years, but don't make any music. Not yet. Once you've given it at least 5 years, you can start a band with your friends, but don't tell anybody about it. It needs to be a surprise. Without the surprise, this doesn't work. Just keep chipping away at it in the background. Spend an unbelievable amount of time and money on it. Record an album, release the album, make $18 from it.
That just seems like too much work though. Like being a YouTuber for fucking 9 years to release one album that damn near flopped because you kept it a secret. Or not to shit on y'all. I'm sure the music is great, but I probably wouldn't listen to it because I don't be listening to that type of shit. I'm more of a rap and R&B kind of guy. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, man, I'm more of a rap, R&B, Afro beats kind of nigga. So you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, you know, it could work.
each. And wait an entire year. Only then can you play a show at a local bar in Orlando, have it recorded by a random stranger who uploads it to TikTok, where it goes medium viral for a couple of days, probably less so because people like the music and more so just because it's kind of interesting you're even doing it at all. And that was my master plan. It may have taken me almost a decade, but it was all worth it when I saw our monthly listeners on Spotify go from a measly 109 all the way up to 175. Wait, is that it? That video got...
That's insane growth though, man. That's fucking crazy, man. You're him. You're him.
like 1 million views. Even in just the past 4 years since we started dicking around in that storage unit, I feel like I've already seen corporate greed price out so many artists from the industry and so many fans from being able to participate in it. But I also realized that there's a thriving local scene that I had no idea about until I started going to shows and meeting all these really cool musicians, a lot of whom are now my friends. Maybe it's not always realistic to spend $300 on nosebleed tickets at a sold-out arena, but who knows? There might be a free show happening right now at a non-profit venue inside a bowling alley. Your new favorite band might be performing at a bar 2 miles from your house.
Music is worth making. And if you feel the need and you feel the burning passion to want to make music or art or in general, do it.
Recruit your friends. Get out and meet people. You might not be able to film your own music video, but your friend has a camera and has a film experience and wants to get involved in a project. Develop your friends. Develop each other. Like, get into a scene of people and build those relationships up from the ground up. And I think beautiful things can come of that.
Well, that was one hell of a video. And with that being said, make sure you like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to catch you on the next one. We out.